Kings, come on, ace. Bam! Let's go! Take it down! Victory is ours! Victory is ours! Victory is ours! We win! We win! We win! Let's go! 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 Victories! Yes! Yes! Boom! Gleesh! Gotcha! Gleesh! Gotcha! Gleesh! Gotcha! Go! 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 Boom! Got him! Victories!
What is going on, everybody? Poker Dad here. In this video here today, we are going to be reviewing a hand that I played on BetOnline. And the main topic of this hand is playing as a short stack in position as the cold caller. Now, before we review any hand, we're always going to want to ask ourselves questions. Well, of course, first to formulate any questions, we are going to want to actually look at the hand. So let's look at this hand here. We are playing in a 6 max tournament here. The blind levels right now are 800, 1600. So probably not in the money, but after late reg. We have 22 big blinds, and our opponent opens here from early position, and we call. So the first question that we're going to want to ask ourselves is, should we be opening from the, should we be calling here, or should we be rejamming with 20 big blinds? Because it's a short stack depth, and it's definitely a question we want to ask if calling was the right play, or if we should have been jamming. So we're going to take a look at ICMIZER and see what would have been the correct play here. Everybody folds, and the flop is 10-7-2 two-tone. Our opponent checks, and we bet here. Now, when looking at this hand, I'm not sure if this is the correct bet or not. Should we be checking here? Should we be betting here? So we want to take a look at this here in PIOSolver. Our opponent calls, and the turn is a jack, giving us top pair. Our opponent checks, and we do decide to bet the top pair. I think this is a great card, obviously, for us to bet on here. I don't think we should be checking here. I think the bet is definitely going to be correct here in every time. Our opponent calls, and another 10 comes out on the board, which is probably not the best card for us. We decide to check back. So we want to see here if this check back is the best possible play, or is there something else we could have done to maybe get value for our top pair. So we're going to use PIOSolver for that. So I wrote here in this notepad, number one, should we have jammed preflop? That's the first question, because should we have even gotten to the situation? And number two, did we take the most plus EV line with this combo? And if not, what would have been the best line to take? So the first thing we want to do is pop open ICMIZER. And I already have the hand here. So here's ICMIZER. And when we actually run the hand, our opponent open raises, and we run the solve. It shows here that ace-jack suited actually should be a jam. But what we really want to do is, this is going with a Nash equilibrium. Now, if we go take a look real quick at our hand here, and we take a look at our opponent's stats, our opponent is a 21 VPIP, 14 PFR, 21 RFI, playing kind of reggish stats here. If we want to even dig a little bit deeper to get the kind of range, we have 117 hands on this particular villain. If we want to go dig a little bit deeper at the pop-up here, we can see that in early position, we only have 24 hands on our position, on our opponent in early position. Their raise first in is like 9%. Now, it's not a huge sample size. So if we just say, okay, their raise first in is 21%, let's say that from early position, they're opening up 16%. So we can take here, and we want to adjust our opponent's range. So let's say our opponent, 60%, let's say they're opening up sixes plus, down to ace-jack here. Let's say they're opening up all their suited aces. King, queen, these suited combos here. This is about 13%. Open up like King 8. Maybe to open up Queen 9, definitely. 10-9, Jack 9, it should be opening up here. Ace 10. So let's say this is their open raising range here. Actually, you know what? Let me just take a look here. I actually had their open raising range. I'd actually worked on this previously. Let's see. I think this is where I have their opening raising range at. Yep, exactly. Except I didn't have the 10-9 here. So let me actually move the 10-9. So this is their open raising range, about 16%. And now let's see, with their opening raising range being 16%, should we jam Queen Jack? It's saying it's a marginal jam here. And when I like use this, I like to actually adjust the minimum EV to 0.2, which would make this really not a jam, make it a better call. But now we just need to actually take a look and see what would our opponent be calling with. So the under the gun call here, if they're like just a decent thinking player, a solid player, you know, we got 22 big blinds, so our jam is going to be pretty strong. I think they'd be calling off with like 10s plus here, maybe ace queen. And I think this would be probably their calling range. I don't think they would call with ace jack here. But I do think they would call with ace queen. So when we adjust their calling range versus our jam, it's going to show that Queen Jack suited is a clear, clearly we're not going to be rejamming Queen Jack. We don't even want to rejam Queen Jack's King Queen suited, really. It's marginal. Really 10s plus here, and Ace Queen would really be our, should really be our rejamming range here at this stack depth, and in this position. So based on what we put that he would call our jam off with and what his opening raising range is. So that would mean that we really don't want to be folding Queen Jack suited here. I guess it's kind of borderline, but we really don't have any rejam stacks behind us. So I do think that Queen Jack suited is a hand that we can definitely call here and not just fold. If we had a hand like King 10, Queen 10 here, something like that, I don't think we would call, but Queen Jack suited I think is an okay call. And so to answer our first question, should we have jammed preflop? The answer is no. Simple. We should not have jammed preflop. So the next question is going to be, did we take the most plus EV line with this combo? And if not, what would have been the best line to take? So to do that, we're going to use PIOSolver. And I already have this set up here, but I will show you what I have done here. Actually, I need to pause the video real quick. I need to make one quick change. Okay, I'm back. So just a little bit of background, by the way. This is actually my second time recording this video. The first time I recorded it, it got messed up. So I've already done this review already. So this is the second recording of it. But I'm going to try and be as thorough as possible in it. I had to actually rerun the solve because there were some changes that I made that you will see as we record this video. So just going back to the question that we had asked, did we take the most plus EV line with this combo? And if not, what should the best line to take? So we did the solve here, and just so you can see, I put in all the basic parameters. Bet sizing, in position, out of position, adding in all ins. The starting pot is 6. I use big blinds. The effective stack is 20. Why is the effective stack 20? Because at the start of the flop here, we have the smallest stack, which is 20 big blinds. Even though this guy has 44 big blinds, the most he can bet here is 20, since we are the effective stack. So that's why you put 20 here in the effective stacks. So this is our opponent is definitely a regular type opponent. So I'm not doing any node locking at this particular part of the solve. We will be doing node locking later on in the in this example here, but we want to start off here in the flop, and we want to see if we did the right thing. Now, first, you can see here, this is supposed to be what our opponent's supposed to be doing. Our opponent's supposed to be betting a ton here. Our opponent didn't. Our opponent checked. And I do agree that on this particular board, it's a really good board for our opponent to c-bet here and to c-bet small. You see, actually, Pio suggests that he c-bets a third pot 53% of the time. But our opponent did decide to check here. And first question is going to be the queen jack suited. We want to take a look at the queen jack suited. Since that's the hand we're most interested in here, we'll take a look at some of the other hands in a second. But here we had the queen jack of diamonds. And as you can see, it is plus EV to do what we did, which was bet a third pot, which was 2 big blinds. You can see there the EV is on the lower right-hand corner is 3.044. And Pio does suggest betting this as well. Pio actually suggests betting all of our queen jack hands here. But I definitely do see why we want to be c-betting here with the backdoor flush draw. Plus also we can improve to an open ender here as well, which I think is another reason why Pio likes betting all combos here. In fact, if you take a look at the king queen suited, very similar, that it can actually turn an open ended straight draw. And the same thing here with the king jack suited hand as well. So these 3 hands here, it does suggest heavily on betting these 3 hands, the third pot. Other hands that we're betting here, of course, are going to be our top pair hands here, ace 10, king 10. Other hands that we would be betting here, not so much the sixes, but we got a set of sevens. The pocket eights are about 50-50 that they like to bet here, but it is a pretty good plus EV bet. You know, because when we bet these hands here, we're betting them for protection. We want to fold out. We want to fold out their overcards that can end up turning a better top pair than we have right now. So we definitely want to bet here for protection. Same idea with the sixes to a lesser extent, because the only problem now we bet with the sixes. You know, our opponent could still have a 7 that he's not folding. Our opponent really isn't going to have many 7s at all, is he? Except for a hand like ace 7, considering what his range is. And if you remember what the range is, this is our opponent's range right here that he bet with, and this is our response here. This is what we're calling with here in this spot. So, that being said, the answer to the question here on the flop is yes. Absolutely, 100%. We should be c-betting this here. Other things that we're looking to c-bet, you can see here, flush draw, and not c-bet, but this is really considered a float bet. Other hands we should be float betting here are going to be the ace 5 suited, more so the flush draws. And again here, the same thing, ace jack suited, the flush draws. We can bet like the backdoor flush draw, but it's just probably a better check back. If you look at the EV, it's like for the ace of diamonds, jack of diamonds, it's pretty close between betting and checking. But these here are a much stronger bet, because not only do we have the backdoor flush draw, but we could also turn the open-ended straight draw as well. So definitely a bet here, no question about it. And a third pot size bet is really the best bet here. So we bet. Our opponent calls. And the turn was a jack of clubs, which gives us now top pair. Our opponent, of course, should be checking the back 100% of the time. I didn't put any donk bets in here in this solve because it didn't happen, so I really don't care. Okay, and that's not our question. Like, our question wasn't, what if our opponent donk bets? That if we have that question, then we can, put that into our solve, but we really don't care about that right now. The question is, did we take the most plus EV line? Well, if you guys remember, on the turn, we bet a third pot. Well, queen jack suited, as you can see here, is Pio does suggest betting it a third. And in terms of EV, it is it's pretty much the best play because the EV between betting and checking is almost exactly the same. So I would say this really is the best play with this particular combo. You see, obviously, when we have the flush draw, it's an even better bet in terms of EV. But yes, we definitely did make the right play here. And you see, we should be betting a lot here. Ace five hands here. You know, again, the goal here is just going to really be more so to fold out better ace highs. Obviously, we got the flush draws here. As you can see, the better the flush draw, like the ace nine is a higher EV bet. We're not betting the 7 here, which is third pair. Here we're definitely checking these back. Again, here with the 6 as well. Just check these back. Try to get these to show down as cheap as possible. And in terms of the ace queen, ace jack here, it looks like we're betting mostly when we have a spade. And well, the ace jack's the top pair, but the ace queen we're betting here mostly when we have a spade. And checking back when we don't have a spade, we do obviously saw the gut shot here. Any king makes a straight on the river. King queen suited. Right now we do have the open-ended straight draw here. It does like betting it. It holds back on the clubs. But I would just take this as a whole of, you know what, just bet the open-ended straight draw here. In position. Again, you know, it is very beneficial to us that we fold out an ace. And we can possibly accomplish this here, especially versus opponent, who's probably not going to call out of position with an ace. And we can take the hand down right now with open-ended straight draw and king 9. But back to the original question is, should we be betting? Well, yeah. We have top pair now. We don't have the backdoor. We don't have any draws anymore. We still have top pair, and we should definitely be betting here, and going for some value and betting a third pot because we do want to get called by worse. So we bet. Our opponent calls, and the river is the 10 of hearts, which is an interesting card because now we could say, well, our opponent could have been calling us with a 10. He's got a hand like ace 10 now. He's hit trips, for example, which is a hand that he definitely would have here with ace 10 suited and ace 10 offsuit. Now, Pio suggests that we jam this here. And it's a very, very positive EV play to jam it. So if we jam this here, now remember we checked it back. If we jam this here, we are going to get called by some hands that are worse. 9s, 8s, according to Pio. But is the general player population going to call us here with much worse? Do we really think when we jam this particular river, do we really think 9s are going to call us? Probably not. Not this, at least not this opponent. You know, maybe if we have a sticky opponent who doesn't like to fold, yeah. Okay, 8s, yeah. 6s, yeah. But I don't think our opponent's going to be doing this. So I think what we need to really do here, like our opponent's not going to be calling us here with ace 7. It's not going to happen. So what we really need to do here is now is a good time for us to use node locking. If you're not familiar with how node locking works in PIOSolver, node locking is very important. What node locking does is you can lock in what you think your opponent's response would be to your action. So to do that, and it's a very powerful tool because our opponent is not going to be playing like PIOSolver is going to be playing. Our opponent is going to be playing more towards how the population might play. So we know that the population is probably going to be folding a lot here and only be calling us with better. So we need to determine now what's going to be the best play versus this type of opponent. Jamming, betting a third, or checking. So how are we going to set this up? First thing we're going to do is we're going to go to bet, pot size bet. I mean, all in. Going all in. Well, when we go all in, we'll click set strategy and lock node now. This is our opponent. What do we think our opponent is going to call us with when we go all in? What we think they're going to call us with. By the way, we click here, select in range explorer. I think they're going to call us with top pair or better. Okay, I think they're going to fold out. Just so you guys can see here, they're going to fold out. We'll take out no draw and nothing. They're going to fold out king high. They're going to fold out ace high, right? And you see everything just disappearing as I do this. They're going to fold out low pairs. That's the sixes and the fives. They're going to fold out their seven, right? And they're going to call us with top pair or better. If you look at this here, what top pair do we beat? Well, we beat Jack 9. That's it. We only beat Jack 9. No, we don't beat Jack 10. We only beat Jack 9. So Jack 9 is the only hand we beat. We chop with Queen Jack. So we are going to, so you can see here, they're calling 99%, and like we're probably kind of screwed here. So we're going to click OK. We're going to click lock all hands. We want to put this as fixed. And you can see they're folding out a ton here at 81% of hands. But the hands that they call with, we're screwed. And that's kind of almost like making Queen Jack into a bluff. And I don't think this is really a bluffing hand. You know, we want to get value. We don't want to just fold out all the hands we beat. Doesn't make any sense. So we click lock hands, set strategy, and close. And now what we want to do is do the same thing here for the third pot size bet. We're going to go to set strategy and lock node. First, which hands are our opponents going to jam us with here? Okay, easy thing to do is just click on. They're going to jam us with quads. They don't have any. Full houses. They got the Jack 10s, the pocket jacks, the pocket 7s, pocket 10s. They don't have any straights. They're trip hands. They're probably going to jam us with. Maybe they don't jam us with the king 10 or the queen 10. But for the sake of this example, we're going to leave those in there. We could actually even adjust the weight of that. And they might jam us with the overpairs, although I don't know if they're going to jam us with the overpairs here. We could also adjust the weights of these as well, actually. They're going to jam us with the top pairs, maybe like ace jack, but I don't think they would because they're going to be afraid of the 10s. That's why I think the ace, the king, and the queen, I don't think they're going to jam us too often here. But we can actually adjust the weights, and what we're going to do here is we actually click on this. It's kind of tough already to adjust the weights because Pio didn't have them checking too much anyway. So I'm actually going to leave this in here because that'll end up being adjusted later on. So we'll leave this in here that they would actually jam these hands here sometimes. So we're going to click OK. And we're going to change this to fixed. And then same thing with the hands that they would call. Now, when we're betting a third pot, what are they going to call here? Well, they're not going to call quads, full house, straight, trips. Those hands, they're not going to call, except maybe, like I said, the ace 10, I think that they would always jam, but they could call these here. Over pairs, let's do the same thing. Well, no, actually, no pairs we can keep in. Top pair, third pair, the 7s, 8s, the 9s. They could definitely call us with to the small bet. 6s and 5s. They could definitely call us to the small bet because we have bluffs here in this board. We have bluffs. We have, we have flush draws that might have missed, that we might have bet 3 streets. We got a hand like king queen that might have missed. Now, they're not going to call us with ace high, not going to call us with king high, not going to call us with nothing, no draws. So they can call us here with this particular range. So we're going to click OK. And then make it fixed. So now you see here with the aces and the kings and the queens, pretty much got it as like a 50-50 that they would raise sometime and call sometime. Same thing here. Raise sometimes, call sometimes. We're going to click lock all hands. Once again, that locks the node. Okay, and now what we need to do, and I'm going to pause the video, is I have to go back here and I have to click this go button, and that's going to run the solve again and see what our reaction should be to what we think they would do. So I'm going to pause the video real quick. Okay, and we are back. So now you can see, now that we made that change, you can see here that we should still be betting the queen, jack, and diamonds. But now the highest EV play at 14.181 is going to be to actually bet a third pot. And we're betting a third pot because now we're getting those weaker hands to call. So just for example, okay, we jam it. Our opponent's folding 81% of his hands. And we know this because we set the node. See here how it says locked. But we bet small. They're still folding 58% of their hands, but they're calling the hands that we beat as well. So, and they're going to be raising, these hands. So it's easy. Like if they raise here, well, now we just fold. Our opponent has it. No reason to call. We just want to call our trips and our boat. And that's it. So as you can see, the answer to the question is we should bet a third pot on the flop. So remember, the full question was, did we take the most plus EV line in this combo? If not, what would have been the best line to take? Well, we can say on the flop, we did take the best line, which was to bet a third pot. So the flop is yes. The turn, once again, we made the most plus EV play, which is to bet a third pot. The answer was yes. On the river, the answer was no. We checked back, and checking back really was not the best play here. Checking back was the second best play. The best play was to bet a third pot. And by the way, if you want to take a look at some of the other stuff here, these ace hands here, we're jamming these because we want to fold out better ace highs, obviously. Same thing here with the king queen. We want to fold out ace high. The ace queen offsuit hands here, we want to jam here as well. I'm not really sure what we're looking to accomplish here when we jam this here, except for maybe folding out some of their pocket pairs that we lose to, like pocket eights, pocket nines, pocket sixes would be the reason for jamming this here. But the answer to the question here is no. We should bet for thin value to get called by worse and fold to a jam. So that's it. And I think this is a great way to review a hand. You review a hand, you come up with a question, and then you answer the question, and you learn from it, and it helps you play better the next time. I appreciate you guys checking out the video. Guys, do me a favor. If you like this video, please click that thumbs up button. If you don't like it, click the thumbs down, or do nothing. I'm okay with either. Also, do me a favor, if you like this video, I'm going to be posting more videos like this in the future. I'm going to try and do at least one a week. I'm going to try to. Please do me a favor, click that subscribe button. You can also see some of my other videos here on my channel. The videos progress. So I started posting videos on YouTube about 2.5 years ago when I knew nothing about poker, and I've constantly been progressing my game, switched from a cash game player to a tournament player, getting better and better. And really, this YouTube channel chronicles how I have progressed through poker. So do me a favor, and if you like it, please click the subscribe button. Also, you can check me out on Twitch. I stream a couple days a week on Twitch playing tournaments on the US sites. It's twitch.tv/PokerDad2878, and follow me on Twitter at PokerDad2878. I appreciate everybody watching the video, and until next time, PokerDad out.